Damn it! Who could it be?
Look, man, calm down.
Okay.
We're gonna find out who it is.
It's got to be one of them, right?
We need to think outside the box. Maybe it's the horse. Maybe it is Bill.
Could be anyone.
Even you.
Welcome back to the Quad Pod. I'm your co-host Sam,
I am Carlo,
and
we do have a lot to talk about today.
Yeah, things are a little heated today. There's a lot going on.
There was heated exchange before the cameras started rolling, as I'm sure you can see.
We've been doing extensive research.
Extensive research. Yes.
As you can see from the.
I had to do a whole thing about
a whole display here because we wanted to get our thoughts out of our head, you know.
Yeah.
And really, in reality.
In reality. So, okay. We have a lot to talk about today.
Yeah.
So, the Epstein files have been voted on by the House of Representatives and the Senate. It has been approved by Donald Trump. We're going to be talking about that. Last week, we missed the Bubba controversy, if you are familiar with it. If you're not familiar with it, all the better, because you get to experience this for the first time with us. So we're going to be talking about that. A lot of things just going on in terms of our president.
Mm-hmm.
Had a few interactions with reporters as of late.
Yeah, they weren't the nicest.
Not the nicest.
Comments he made.
And he held a head of state in the Oval Office, which is not an uncommon thing, but it was kind of off-putting, and we'll get to that.
Yeah,
we'll get to that later. So I guess we can start off with the whole bit, right?
Yeah.
So who is Bubba? Okay. So basically, what had happened is there was an email among the 20,000 plus that was released by, I believe it was among the emails that were released by House Democrats.
Yeah.
Basically, it was an email.
I believe it was from his
from Mark Epstein.
Epstein's brother.
Yeah. Epstein's brother, and it said, "quote." Well, no, sorry. It was asking if Russian President Vladimir Putin. It was asking if Russian President Vladimir Putin had, quote, photos of Trump blowing Bubba. And okay, it leaves a lot up to the imagination.
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, I guess I should say journalistically, Mark Epstein has come out and said a few things. He has said, for one, here, let me see it here. So he basically said that it does not refer to Bill Clinton, even though Bubba was a popular nickname for Bill Clinton. He also said that this email exchange was, quote, a humorous private exchange between two brothers. And that's a really, it's quite the spin to put.
Yeah, it's a weird way to put
on
it.
an email between yourself and one of the most notorious convicted sex predators in human history.
Here's the thing, though, is here's my thing. It's like, after he said the Bill Clinton, it's not Bill Clinton. Also, it was a joke. It was like, why would you even say it wasn't Bill Clinton then?
Yeah.
If it was just a joke.
If it was just a joke, then it was just a joke.
Then
yeah.
Which raises numerous questions, if it is true, in the sense of why would Vladimir Putin have this image, and who is Bubba?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's baffling.
It is
to the mind.
So. Yes, so Bubba was a nickname for Bill Clinton, president back during the 1990s. So people who were thinking that at first, Mark Epstein, like I said, came out and said that it was not Bill Clinton. Attention then turned to the fact that Ghislaine Maxwell, who was one of the main collaborator with Jeffrey Epstein, had a horse named Bubba. And attention on the internet then turned to, well, does this mean that Trump performed an oral act on a horse? And the answer to that question, seemingly, again, based on what has been said by basically Mark Epstein and I think his firm or whatever it was. Yeah. They said that it was not the horse. Unfortunately.
In fact, I have to confirm that.
Yeah. So Mark Epstein's spokesperson said that, quote, "No, I can assure you that is not the case. The case being, was it the horse? I have not heard the horse rumor, but no, that is not the case." And like, you don't have to say you didn't hear the horse rumor. You heard the horse rumor.
Yeah,
everybody heard the horse rumor.
Here's the thing, like, why would you not like? They're saying it's just not these people, but they're not clarifying who it is, or like it was a close friend or something like that. No, they're saying like could be anybody still. Like they're just saying nope, definitely not the horse or Bill Clinton, but
could have been somebody or something else.
honestly, I would be scared as hell if I was that firm right now because it's like, who knows what's going to come up next is also named Bubba.
So, and again, this is just a very small part of what was released. It captured the imagination. It captured our imagination.
Oh, yeah.
Worth mentioning just for laughs, if nothing else.
Yeah.
We don't know who Bubba was. We don't know if Trump blew anybody.
Yeah, who knows?
Like we don't actually know. I mean, you can.
Yeah, and it could be a joke, but that is a very specific inside joke.
It's such a specific inside joke, and also kind of like I said, I have a hard time believing that Mark Epstein, which I have no idea what his deal is. If I'm being completely honest, he's Jeffrey Epstein's brother, but we know what Jeffrey Epstein's deal is.
Yeah,
and like the idea that they're just goofing off with each other in emails, like, hey man, you have that video of Trump blowing Bubba, man. I don't know. The tone didn't seem.
Yeah, I didn't get a joke vibe from it, especially in the sea of emails that weren't jokes and were dead serious. The fact that that was a joke. Yeah, that one was a joke.
Yeah.
As soon as it involves Mark Epstein, then it's a joke.
Yeah, it's a total joke, and I guess if it was a joke, pretty funny, I guess. Right?
Yeah,
but I
bet
don't
you
know.
Trump's finding it really, really funny right now.
Trump's finding it very funny. So
wait, imagine you're like the guy who has to tell Trump, like, hey, they're spreading some rumors about you right now about you blowing a horse.
I feel like that's the part of like the DreamWorks movie where like the henchman gets like vaporized. Like if you're the person that has to tell him that.
It's like in the Mario movie. It's like, what if she says no? Like it's but yeah, or do you think Trump was just scrolling on TikTok and he saw that?
Strolling on Truth, probably.
Truth
Social, yeah. But yeah, we can zoom out here because there's a lot more going on.
Oh yeah.
So with the Epstein files, and we missed this by, well, actually, a lot of it's more recent, but we record weekly, so some things happen in the cycle that we just kind of like miss out on, quote unquote, in terms of like talking about the day of. But this has been ongoing. It's still ongoing. The Epstein, like, if you're living in America, no matter who you are, you probably know that the Epstein files have been voted to be released. And I don't know, that's not the best way to put it, and I put it in air quotes because there's a few things with it, right?
Yeah.
But basically, and this is crazy because even when we recorded last week, if I recall, I was very skeptical about any of this happening. Because last week there was the report of preparations for over 100 House Republicans to vote with the measure to release the files.
Yeah.
And that would have been unprecedented on its own. And I, if I recall correctly, last week I was talking about I doubt the Senate will pass it. And even if the Senate passes it, I really doubt that Donald Trump will sign it.
Yeah, we've been talking about that for a while. Like how all this stuff, and even if he does, if it gets to Trump somehow and he does let it go through, or whatever decision he makes, we'll decide it. But if it even would even get there,
exactly. But
a lot has changed.
So we're gonna get into the part of this that is frustrating and not necessarily not like rewarding, but you know what I mean, like not substantive, I guess. So we're gonna get to that part, but before I get to that part, I do just want to say this is, it might not feel like it, but it's a win. It's a big victory. It's like it's a big deal for reasons that we can expound upon, ourselves. But again, to kind of go through the timeline here. So Donald Trump came out and said, and the general analysis is that he said this because he knew that it was going to be a humiliating loss on the House floor.
Yeah.
He kind of turned heel and said, hey, I like Republicans in the House, Republicans in the Senate, they should pass this because we have nothing to hide. That's what he said.
Pretty late in the game to start saying some stuff like that.
Pretty late in the game, dude. And this is after, and we said this last week too, this is after you brought Lauren Boebert into the Situation Room. The Situation Room, not the Oval Office, not like the West Wing. The Situation Room, again, I said it last week, I'll say it again. That's where Obama watched Osama bin Laden get killed. And in 2025, it's being used to dissuade Congress people from voting to release. I don't know. It's crazy. But just an indicator of where we are.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Trump came around, and I would buy into the kind of theory that it's because he knew it was going to be a humiliating loss.
Yeah.
Because think about it this way, right? If he maintained that stance throughout the House vote, it would have been really. I mean, look, it's damning already, but like in a world where the House basically revolts against him and passes this thing, that would be very humiliating for him.
Yeah,
it's humiliating already.
Well, yeah, because he's been the whole last few months he's been like, it's a hoax, the Democratic hoax, the whole Epstein files is like, there's nothing even on it, so who cares? Like,
yeah. But it's funny because it went from there's nothing on it, who cares, to like, oh, but there is Democrats on it though, and that because they opened an investigation only into Democrats last week in the Epstein files. So it's like a magical book. I feel like I haven't seen Harry Potter, but I feel like there's something out of Harry Potter. It's like a book that it modifies itself to whatever Mr. Trump needs, like it conforms itself to like his desires.
He has the magic pen that he can just
yeah. Because you're right. Like 6 months ago, no, it didn't matter. Yeah, they don't even exist really.
Those things that were apparently on someone's desk. No, that's what. No.
Yeah, no. That's good. It's good.
Fine. Joking. Like,
but now the Democrats now.
It's actually only full of Democrats. It's the entire list.
And yeah, and that plays into another part of it. But basically, where did I leave off? So the House passed it. I forget the exact numbers, but only one person in the House voted against it, and who knows why the hell he did that. But
I saw something about I don't know his name, but like he still thinks it's dangerous. Like the victims' names could get out or something like that. It still feels like he's probably sucking up to Trump.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
See, Trump, I'm still on your side.
I'm still on your side.
Please don't hurt me.
Yeah. I know he's from Louisiana though, which is like not surprising. Yeah, but it actually the Senate basically said we're just gonna pass this. So basically the Senate unanimously voted to send it to the president's desk. It was sent to Donald Trump's desk. He signed it, and that's basically where we stand now.
Yeah,
and the situation currently is that there are a lot of possible exceptions and exemptions that it seems like if you're looking at this from any sort of reasonable lens, kind of like loopholes that Trump probably very much intends to take advantage of. And among those is, like we said, he reopened the investigation into the files, particularly as it pertains to Democrats. And the thing is with that is one of the, I don't want to say excuses. I mean, in this case, it is an excuse, but one of the things with the release of investigative files and whatnot is that they generally are not or cannot be released in the midst of an ongoing investigation. And that is something that they're pretty clearly going to try and leverage here is that, we know Donald Trump signed it. And in that way, like I was going to say genius, not genius. It's really like, it's kind of like, it's like they're real like slick and like devilish about it, like scummy, real scummy about it. Because then what they get to do, and I feel like people are smarter than this, so I'm glad. But what they get to do, they get to posture it as like, oh well, President Trump signed the release of the files because he wants transparency and he wants justice here. So Trump basically gets to pass the buck to Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, who has been very willing to cover up these files, going back to when this administration first took office back in January. So it's not clear at this point which files are going to get released, how many are going to be released. The more interesting question, it's not clear which files are not going to be released. It's unclear how much kind of not censorship, but like classified stuff is going to be kind of like blacked out or whatever, so to speak, in this. I'm using air quotes a lot. I need to stop that today. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, though. It's like, who knows what's going to get released? Like, it could be nothing about Trump, and we I mean, it's clear. I mean, it's clear he's on it. He's going to be on there somewhere. Otherwise, he wouldn't be fighting this hard to not have them released up until now. And so, if they come out and he's not on it, then we'll know what's being like hidden from us.
Yes. And just the circus around this is just, again, if we weren't living through it, it would be such a hilarious dark comedy.
Oh my God, to look back at.
Yeah.
Dude.
So Trump posted on Truth Social, quote, Democrats have used the Epstein issue, he put that in quotes, which affects them far more than the Republican Party, in order to try and distract from our amazing victories. He said, as everyone knows, everyone knows, yeah. As everyone knows, I asked Speaker of the House Mike Johnson and Senate Majority Leader John Thune to pass the bill in the House and the Senate respectively. Because of this request, the votes were almost unanimous. And again, like that's... Like, he's a spin master, man. Like, you can't say he's not a spin master because, and again, I don't think people are buying into it as much this time, which is good. But like, in the sense that like he somehow found a way to like take the pressure like off of him in that respect. Yeah, it really it's.
And we'll talk about that later when we get to the reporter stuff. But I think it's just kind of funny to imagine that phone call, or if you had it's like, hi, Mike Johnson. He's like, hey man, what's up? He's like. And he like puts on. He's like, "Do I have to do this? Do I have to do this?" Yes, you do, Mr. Trump. Yes, you. Tell them they can all say to release the files. Like, are you sure? Yes. Hangs up.
Are you sure?
It's just like. He expects people to believe this because first of all, right, in the Truth Social post, he said the Epstein issue, which is just one of the one of the most massive understatements possibly ever. Like the Epstein issue. Like, dude, you're talking about one of the most elite, prolific, infamous child sex rings of all time. It was like, the Epstein issue.
The Epstein issue. Like it's getting
like it's like the Epstein issue.
To beat a dead horse.
Like it's really getting on my nerves. Like, dude.
Oh my god!
Like, what the hell? And again, as everyone knows, you were fighting against this tooth and nail for 6 months. That's what everyone knows. More than 6 months. I mean, it's like 10 months.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, but yeah, and again, like I guess the main point of why we bring this up in the first place is to say that there are a number of provisions in there that basically allows Trump to withhold a lot of the releases.
Yeah.
And in the sense that he was pressured to do this in the first place, it is a victory because I feel like the Republicans were going to vote that way regardless because they know that if they were to vote against this, it would have been impossible to come back from. And we've been talking about that for a while.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit last episode too. But it is a victory because it shows that we can kind of like Trump can't do whatever he wants. We can push him to do things that we want. I mean, it's not going to work out completely in our favor, I guess, with him having so much leverage, but it is a step forward, which is nice.
Yeah. And to be more specific, I'm getting this from the New York Times. It says, quote, under the legislation, the Trump administration may withhold records that identify victims or include images of child sexual abuse or are otherwise classified. The legislation also allows records to be withheld if they would jeopardize an active federal investigation. And they go on to say the Justice Department has already said the files it withheld contain images of victims, downloaded videos of legal child sex abuse, or materials that have been ordered sealed by a court. So, again, it's really hard to know what the new information is going to be released, if there is any new information released at all. We'll keep you posted on that, of course.
And I mean that is certainly good that like the videos and photos are being kept.
Nobody wants to see that. No, but like. But the point is that they can very easily just claim that all of this is one thing when it's not, and
and
be
that's
disingenuous.
That's the tough thing too, is that like if you try to be like, well, he's keeping him hidden. It's like, well, these like someone can be like, well, these are the reasons. So it's like, do you want to see those things? Do you want to see those photos and videos? That's what I thought. It's like, well, no, that's not. I could definitely see being that used in an argument of just like people who are trying to get those files that he's going to keep hidden, making them look like the bad guy.
Yeah, it's a very. Your word, I think, is the best one. It's very scummy. It's very, they think they're very clever and smart.
It's like they'll never suspect we're on the files now.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I don't see it going away. Like they would want nothing more than for this to go away and nobody to talk about it. That's not going to happen.
Honestly, but we don't know what's going on in the office. So they could be like, yeah, there's actually nothing we can do. Like, since you approved this, we actually have to release this stuff with your name in it. And at that point, Trump's gonna. I mean, I'm honestly afraid of what Trump's gonna do now. Like if he knows the file is gonna come out, what does he have to lose? Like he can just, he'll just start. I mean, he already has been doing whatever he wants, but.
Well, look, this is far fetched too, but because again, like clearly what I say should be taken with a massive grain of salt because I was incorrect about the odds that this would have faced, passing legislation it passed. But then again, that heel turn from Donald Trump, I don't know if anybody could have predicted that.
Yeah.
But in a world where files come out and they are incriminating, and again, I doubt that. I do, just because, like, the administration is ultimately going to be the one deciding what to release and what not to release.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I just don't know if I see a world where that happens.
Yeah.
But in a world where something comes out that is incriminating, whether it be from the administration or from, like, the Epstein estate, a lot of things have been coming out of that.
Yeah.
I would not be shocked if there was talk of impeachment, even in the Republican-led Congress, because you saw what was about to happen against Trump's wishes.
They're all about to turn on him. Yeah,
they were ready to turn. I mean, at least that's what the reporting was. That's what the rumors were, and the fact that they all basically did vote for it. I mean, again, Trump said it, but I feel like that kind of adds a little bit of credence to it, because, like, you did have the one guy that voted against it because he probably was still being a suck up, but like,
and that's one thing too. It's like, not only would it have been humiliating if Trump hadn't have said that before the vote,
mm-hmm.
but, like, it would have proved to everybody that people are turning on Trump, even his own Republicans. Like, he cannot have the Republican, like, make it look like the Republicans are turning on him too.
And that would have been really bad for him. He already had the thing, and I think we talked about this last week, where he turned on Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
So things are looking not good for him. Like, if you would not want to find yourself in Donald Trump's position right now, even though, you know, it's easy to seem like he holds all the cards here, and as the president, you know, he does hold a lot of them, but I mean, man, he's kind of in a corner with this. You know, I don't know if there's
there's not many places to go. I mean,
yeah,
but that worries me though. The fact that he's like, bring it to me, I'll sign it. Like, that makes me think he has something up his sleeve.
Well, yeah, and again, he probably does, just in terms of, like, being disingenuous about what he releases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, So we'll see in the weeks to come.
Yeah,
where that goes.
We will see, and we'll keep you posted on that.
Yeah.
But it's
a lot of mysteries.
A lot of mysteries.
A lot of mysteries this week.
Yeah, but this story is probably going to keep on going until the end of the year, if we're being honest.
Oh my God!
End of the school year, that is.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I think at the end of the
Yeah.
No, we'll still be talking about this for a while. Even, I'd say, depending on, like, how this plays out for Trump, because, like, I don't see a world where this turns out good for Trump. I mean, hell, I'm saying that now. I'm knock on wood. I'm like, but I don't know. Like, it feels like this leads to impeachment, which is good, but
yeah, I mean, that's maybe wishful thinking.
I know, but it's like, in a sense of just like, where else could this go? Like, no, people aren't gonna let this down.
It's not his poll numbers are at like lows that are historic for him, and it's not it's not looking good for him.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing with him is that he's had some interesting interactions with reporters.
Yeah,
as of late. So, God, it's not even like something to be laughed at, but okay.
It's just ridiculous. Like, the things he says in these, like, interviews are just absolutely ridiculous to come from anybody, let alone a president.
Yeah. So on Air Force One on Friday, from the New York Times, Donald Trump cut off a reporter from Bloomberg, Catherine Lucy, when she tried to speak to ask why he had not yet released the Epstein files. And you've probably seen this video, or maybe you haven't, but he said, quiet, piggy, to a person.
An actual person.
This wasn't a Truth Social post. Like,
he was answering questions before that too, and then as soon as that she asked the question, quiet, piggy.
And I shouldn't be the one to have to say that. Seemingly an appearance-based insult is rich coming from the individual who said it.
Coming off that too, I mean, Trump seems to be, like, unaware of what his physical appearance is, and I guess, like, in a sense, he has everyone next to him is like, yeah, you're extremely fit and healthy. Like, no need to worry.
Another thing that I say this all the time. Another thing that we've talked about in the past on the show is his multiple kind of doctors' reports that have come out.
Yeah.
Where they were saying, like, the one of a month or two ago was like his cardiological age is like 10 years younger than his biologic age, and that's just not a real thing.
Yeah.
But that was in his official, like, doctor's report that was released, and I
feel like we've seen a lot of them too. Like, it feels like they keep happening, these, like, doctor's reports.
Yeah, and it's almost like, why do we think that the 80-year-old man keeps having to go to the doctor. Do we think maybe there's something going on there?
I keep seeing the thing, like, people do an impression, like, yeah, it's like Trump saying he's so healthy that like the doctor's asking him to come back, and he keeps coming to him to come back again and again.
Yeah, I there's not really that much to say about it, but like, this guy is our president. This is like, the president of the United States is calling people piggy. It's unbelievable.
Reporters, yeah.
But
if only it stopped there. It actually gets worse.
it does. So, yeah, what had happened is, well, actually, we'll touch on this first because you need further context. For
okay,
this.
yeah,
So,
we'll get some context.
And this was also on the agenda, so this is good. We're talking about this as well. In the Oval Office earlier this week, Donald Trump hosted Mohammed bin Salman, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, in the Oval Office. They had like a whole meeting and everything, and as I believe they had an official dinner together afterward. And the way Donald Trump was describing this man, you would think he's a paragon of decency and virtue and democracy and puppies and ice cream, all things good in the world. Would it surprise you to find out that the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia is responsible for some of the most brazen human rights abuses on the planet?
Like,
yeah. And here's the thing too. I think this is interesting. So, from Amnesty International, which is one of the world's kind of foremost human rights groups, they actually have a special article on Saudi Arabia that is titled 10 Ways That Saudi Arabia Violates Human Rights. And when you as a country have a article that is titled in the same way as like a BuzzFeed article, like that is a problem.
Dude.
That is a problem. 10 ways that Saudi Arabia violates human rights. I won't go through all of these, but just a few to make my point.
Yeah.
And again, reminder that Trump was lavishing, this man, this leader. He said, quote, "We've been really good friends for a long period of time. We've always been on the same side of every issue."
What?
Wait, no. I'll leave you on that. So remember that. Donald Trump said about Mohammed bin Salman, Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, that, quote, "We've always been on the same side of every issue." I'm going to go back to this page now. We're going to read the ways that in which Saudi Arabia violates human rights. The first one, executions are on the increase. They execute a lot of people. Highest number in 30 years back in 2022.
Yeah, I can say Trump kind of agrees with that in a sense.
Yeah,
with like a previous quote we talked about where he said he's just going to start killing people.
Yep. Very, very true. Women are widely discriminated against still. They do not have many of the same rights as men in this country. There have been, I guess, improvements in recent years. They were allowed to drive recently, and that, which is crazy that for the longest time they weren't able to.
It's crazy. Yeah, we're gloating that like that's like a huge that's something that's like that's not the status quo.
But Amnesty International says here that the male guardianship system was enshrined into law in 2022, and this means that women must have a male legal guardian. They cannot choose who it is.
Oh my God. I can see Trump agreeing with that, though.
Yeah, and again, like, just keep that in mind that he said, this guy and him are on the same side of every issue. Unfair trials and torture during detention. Again, that's so all the boxes have been checked so far.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna start doing. We're gonna start checking these boxes.
Mm-hmm.
So going back, executions. Trump likes the idea of those.
Yeah.
And there's another thing on the agenda that we're gonna get to later that even supports that.
Yeah.
So Trump so check mark there. Number 2, women are widely discriminated against. Check mark there.
Mm-hmm.
Reproductive rights and everything have been totally attacked under Trump. Unfair trials and torture during detention. We know what goes on in these ICE detainment camps and whatnot. Not good stuff.
No.
And they are detained without trial. So it's not even an unfair trial. They're detained without trial.
Yeah, no trial. And when they're being arrested, it's not like they're just putting on handcuffs. No, it's a fight.
No. Yeah. Migrant workers are treated poorly. We can check that one too.
Yep.
Obviously, if you're crackdown on free media and press. Yes.
Yep.
Donald Trump does that as well. Took Jimmy Kimmel off the air. Yeah, and is threatening to revoke ABC's license, which we're going to do that in a second.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a second.
So Saudi Arabia has no free speech at all, more or less,
okay.
and that is where maybe we differ a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's
Trump's probably wishing for that though.
Yeah,
with how much people are talking about him right
now. Amnesty International says that dozens of outspoken activists in Saudi Arabia remain behind bars simply for exercising the rights of freedom of expression, association, and assembly. Many of Saudi Arabia's prominent and independent human rights defenders have been imprisoned, threatened into silence, or have fled the country. So, and again, Trump would like that, I think. He would very much like a world where that's the case.
If Trump had the option to put everyone who said anything mean about him in a jail, are you seriously going to tell me that he would not do that?
Yeah, let's be real. Saudi Arabia also has no rights for the LGBTQ plus communities. They are labeled as extremist ideas. The country's legal system prohibits gay relationships, public displays of affection, and gender expression, and with a severe societal stigma, discrimination, and legal repercussions for gay individuals, including imprisonment, fines, or the death penalty.
Well, I mean, wasn't Trump responsible, or the administration was responsible for getting rid of the 911 specifically for LGBTQ?
Yeah, and it was many people in the MAGA movement. I don't know if Trump is in an official statement on it, but they wanted the Supreme Court to revisit Obergefell v. Hodges. That's right. They did not, which is great. That's good stuff. Yeah,
but things that are currently happening during this administration. So
yeah, and particularly if you look at the transgender part of this, that has been such a rallying cry for the far right, when in reality, it's just not an actual issue.
We're learning more about Trump every week though with Bubba. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we are. Yeah, he might be the B in LGBTQ.
Yeah, and you know what? He might actually. That might be the one thing he disagrees with him on.
Yeah. Travel bans. Many human rights activists who have been released from unfair imprisonment face continued punishment. Many are given travel bans, meaning they are unable to leave the country and see loved ones. So yeah, they're basically saying some people can't leave the country. Forced evictions. They're again making people. The eviction from their homes to be demolished to make way for luxury hotels and buildings. And also, no protests, just flat out no protests in Saudi Arabia. And we know that Donald Trump doesn't like protests either.
And whether or not these specific things are happening in America, Trump is, I don't think he meant to say it like this, but he is saying he agrees with a lot of these things.
Yeah, and I think, like you have said, I think deep in his brain, I think because protests are allowed in America. Yeah. But if Trump could wave his magic wand and say no more protests, you can't tell me he wouldn't do that.
No. Yeah, Trump. I do believe Trump would allow all, if not most, of these things to happen in America if he could.
Yeah. And perhaps most damningly, do you remember? Because this was a while ago. Do you remember the story of Jamal Khashoggi?
Yes, I do. Remember, yeah.
Okay. Jamal Khashoggi was an American journalist who it was ruled by Trump's Justice Department, by the way, that his execution with a bone saw was arranged by the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, by the government. And
now he invites him for dinner.
He invites him for a meeting in the Oval Office, invites him for dinner. Mary Bruce of ABC News asked him basically, why is this? Right?
Yeah.
His response was, you don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that. And he said the question was a horrible, insubordinate, and just a terrible question. Trump continued, this is insane. Okay? Get ready for this. This so again, just to be very clear, we're talking about an American journalist who was murdered by the Saudi government.
Yeah, brutally murdered.
And in response to a question from a journalist as to why Trump was being so chummy with this guy, he said, quote, a lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen.
Things happen. Talk about understatements earlier. Things happen.
Yeah, there's not even much commentary about that because it's outwardly insane.
It just reinstates the idea that Trump Trump doesn't care for Americans.
No.
He does not care for human lives at all.
Things happen. State executions, you mean?
Yeah,
exactly.
And the thing you're talking about is an execution with what you said, a bone saw.
Yeah, bone saw. Yeah.
Either Trump has actually lost his mind, or he seriously believes that is an okay thing that happened. Also, yeah, whether I thought he was actually going to double back. He's like, whether or not you like him or not, the appropriate thing you're supposed to say after that is that it was still a bad thing. But nope, things happen.
But I actually think one of the crazy things about that is he tries to justify it by saying a lot of people didn't like that guy.
Look, so you can murder him with a bone saw. Yeah, that's fair.
Now, there are a lot of people in this world that I don't like. Do I necessarily think that they should die? In most cases, no.
Most cases, no. Yeah.
In most cases, no.
Yeah.
And I won't get into the specifics, but in most cases, the answer is no. So crazy thing to say.
Yeah. It is just such a backstab to America to treat like someone who ordered the execution of an American journalist to now invite him over for dinner, and then when someone asks him about the execution of the American journalist, don't embarrass our guest. He's embarrassed by it.
That's an embarrassing question. He's embarrassed by it. Look at him. He's so innocent.
He's blushing. He's so innocent. Like, we're joking. Those are things he would say. Like it's just absurd.
Yeah, totally lashing out at the reporter as opposed to answering the question. Just crazy. He also said to that same reporter, Mary Bruce, he referred to ABC as a, quote, crappy company and said that the network's broadcasting license should be, quote, taken away. He said his top broadcast regulator, Brendan Carr, whose agency grants licenses to local stations, quote, should look at that. And again, that is blatantly just him saying that he doesn't care about
one question asked. He's like, yeah, you actually should lose your license.
So in response to one question, just to summarize here, and again,
good question.
A fair question.
A fair question, yeah.
And so a fair question was asked to this man, and this man, who again is losing his mind, by the way, he said, let me just make sure I have the totality of what he said here. In response to that question, he said, you cannot ask this guy why he killed somebody because that embarrasses him. I don't really care whether you liked him or you didn't. Things happen. So, it's kind of okay that he was killed. Also, I hate your question so much that I actually want to take your broadcast license away. So at no point did he actually answer the question.
Yeah.
And he went on just like a whole tirade about the most insane shit you've ever heard.
Do you know the exact question that was asked? Does it say?
So yeah, it was actually because we just looked into it now just because we want to make sure we get it right. So it was two questions asked by the same reporter, Mary Bruce of ABC. So the second question that she had asked basically was, as the president, you could release the Epstein files right now. Yeah. So why not just release the Epstein files? Because if you said you want to release them, why not just release them now? Mm-hmm. It doesn't take an act of Congress to do this. Like, you as a president can just do it. Yeah. Fair question. Because,
another fair question.
Because she's right. His response to that question, again, was very level-headed. He said, quote, it's not the question that I mind, it's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter. It's the way you ask these questions. You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter. And it's like, hey, man, sorry if that question hurts your feelings. Yeah. If you're upset by that and again, if that upsets you, I don't know what to tell you. You're the president of the United States.
Yeah, honestly, you can't that was that's embarrassing. He's gonna be talking about Saudi Arabian president getting being embarrassed. He's embarrassed right there from that question.
Yeah, the American media doesn't have to talk to you like you're a 5-year-old that just fell off a seesaw. You're an 80-year-old man. You're a grown-ass man, 80 years old. More than grown. You're withering, but that's aside the point.
And you're just yelling at this reporter.
Yeah.
Calling her a terrible person. Of two questions. Two fair questions.
From a question that never even had to come up because, yes, you could have just released the files if you really wanted to. And the question is also fair, like we said, because the non-release of these files is basically just a way of protecting child predators and not giving justice to the victims. So the implication that your feelings are just so hurt by this and you just don't like the way it was asked to you, dude, grow up.
Also, he doesn't answer the question.
He doesn't. Again, you're right. He doesn't answer the question. He does not answer the question.
How is the team behind Trump? How are they not preparing him for these questions? That's an obvious question that would come up at some point. If he was gonna say he was finally gonna sign the files release, why he didn't just do it earlier? Mm-hmm. Either his team is not preparing him well enough, or I'm gonna be surprised if he even has a team. Honestly, he's like, I can just do it myself, and then does something like that and embarrasses America again.
He ended the interaction by saying, quote, you ought to go back and learn how to be a reporter. No more questions from you. Dude, he's such an asshole, man.
Dude, he says it like the soup Nazi, like, no more questions.
Yeah. And
like literally in front of the guest. Like I imagine he was like, yo, calm down.
if I was the crown prince of Saudi Arabia in that moment, I'd be like, hey, I'm not like I do bad things, but I don't do that. That's not me.
That's up.
It's like look.
All she did was ask a question.
I might stone people, but I do not molest kids. Okay.
I draw a line there. Terrible.
Yeah, a lot of things going on.
I mean, like, not only does he not care for journalists who are killed in Saudi Arabia, brutally killed in Saudi Arabia, he doesn't care about the ones that are right in front of him either. There's asking him fair questions that he should know the answers to and be prepared for, and instead all he does is insult them, calling him either a piggy or a terrible reporter.
Speaking of piggy, I have something really good for you here. While we were recording, the White House released a statement on the piggy comment.
I want to see how they spin this one.
And if you're wondering how Caroline Leavitt was going to respond to this, you probably could have guessed. But here it is. Quote, I think everyone in this room should appreciate the frankness and the openness that you get from President Trump on a near daily basis. The president is very frank and honest with everyone in this room. You've seen it yourself. You've all experienced it yourselves. And I think it's one of the many reasons that the American people reelected this president, because of his frankness. And he calls out fake news when he sees it. He gets frustrated with reporters when you lie about him, when you spread fake news about him and his administration. So a few things with that. I'll start out first with there was no fake news. There was no lies. It was a question. It was a question. It was, hey, you as the president, and again, a correct observation, could release these. Mm-hmm. Why not?
So we got asked the same question. Is this the same question that like on the plane?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So,
and the response to that, again, another thing too, like, and this is the problem. I really think this is so indicative of the problem that we have just in culture in general today. Yeah. Is that being fucking like rude and an asshole is like, oh, you're just being honest.
So frank.
He's just being honest.
So frank.
You're just being frank and, open.
Just he starts every sentence going frankly does not mean he's actually an honest and nice person.
And when did we forget again? Like when did we forget like that second grade lesson that I feel like most people are taught,
the golden
where
rule?
It's like not even the golden rule. That's another thing, but like. Just the concept of like inside thoughts.
Yeah.
Like some things, like basically, like if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all.
That's
And again, 80-year-old man. Where
second grade was a long time ago for that guy. So
it was, and he probably doesn't even remember it. He probably doesn't remember what he had for lunch yesterday. Again,
for being honest,
separate issue. But
if we're just being honest.
If we're just being honest,
just like Trump. We're very similar to Trump. We're just
Trump,
being honest.
Like if I'm just being honest, your neck kind of looks like a vagina. But again, aside the point.
This is being honest.
I'm just being honest.
Sorry if it's rude.
I'm just being honest. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you look like a trash bag filled with mango pulp, but I'm just being honest.
What is?
I'm just being honest. That's actually that feels really good. Actually, I think what you're right. You're right. This is let's all be honest and open and frank with each other. Let's do it.
Looks if I poke Donald Trump, he'd just further away in the dust.
So you know what? Actually, forget everything that I was going to say about that. I'm totally on board with this thing of being open and honest with each other. I really like it. That's all. That's all about that.
Wait, is there nothing else said?
Oh, she actually did say more. So
okay. I was like, there's no way she ended on that.
She said, quote, the president being frank and open and honest to your faces rather than hiding behind your backs is, frankly, a lot more respectful than what you saw in the last administration.
Take a shot every time she says frank.
Dude. The detachment from reality to look at an 80-year-old man calling somebody piggy and be like, that's actually pretty respectful.
Yeah. That reporter should be thankful that he's watching out for her. Like,
oh my God.
Dude, they had to like send that out and be like, you think this was going to work? Was there anything else?
No, that's all she said about it. But, yeah.
Jesus.
And
just say he was grumpy and have him apologize. Like
the idea that everything he does has to be justified is just like that.
Yeah, why can't he just say sorry?
Because he doesn't. He just doesn't.
Because he can't admit defeat. He can't admit that he did something wrong.
But no, but you're right. Like, how easy would it have been to just be like, you know what, the president, like, he skipped lunch that day. He was a little
first time in a few years.
He was a little hangry for first time in a few years. And we know that guy doesn't skip lunch.
Just being honest.
But yeah, he was a little hangry. He wanted to take a nap. And he just kind of snapped a little bit.
Yeah.
And
we all do it.
We all do it. And he apologizes because that's the normal thing to do. But no, that's not. That's not. That doesn't happen.
This is a crazy world we live in.
It is.
Where a president can call someone a piggy, a terrible reporter, all these mean things, and still somehow get respect and support from people. But I mean, his poll numbers.
They are the lowest.
I have to imagine they're going to continue to get lower too.
But if you look on his Truth Social, though, he insists they're the highest they've ever been.
The highest ever been.
So it really depends on.
Well,
who
if you're looking
to.
at fake news, of course they would say they're the lowest.
That's true.
Maybe we're not only looking at fake news.
The real news comes straight from his Truth Social account.
You're right.
As we know.
You're right.
We know.
Just being honest.
So I feel like I've had enough Trump talk.
Yeah, enough Trump talk, honestly.
So this one is political, but it's not so much Trump related.
Okay, good.
So do you remember how we were talking about how Texas redid their maps for the upcoming midterm elections?
The gerrymandering.
Gerrymandering, yes, gerrymandering. So where's the article I had on this?
I saw this news. I saw this news as well.
So. And again, like this is very interesting. It's very different from California. I think we drew this contrast in prior weeks too. California just passed their proposition to gerrymander as well, but the voters voted on that. That was not the case here in Texas. They just did it.
They just did it because why not?
But according to the BBC, a U.S. federal court has blocked Texas from using new voting maps drawn by Republicans in an effort to shore up their majority in the 2026 midterm elections. The court said evidence indicated the new voting districts were racially gerrymandered and ordered the state to use the congressional lines they had in place before they redistricted early this year.
Who said that? Who determined that?
A federal court.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. So obviously that's big. That's really important because Texas was the single state that was going to give Republicans, if they were allowed to use these new maps, it was a single state that was going to give Republicans the most additions to as compared to the old maps.
Yeah. So, question, does this also then, what does this mean for California?
So nothing as of right now, because this was specifically for Texas. It's possible, and I'm no expert in judicial politics, but it's possible that is something that is brought up in court. Possible. Yeah. I don't know. But as of right now, this is only for Texas, and they're saying that these new voting districts were racially gerrymandered and that they cannot be used for the 2026 midterm elections.
Great news.
Yeah, it's great news because like they're basically trying to steal votes in broad daylight in Texas.
We were hoping. I hope that this was bound to happen, and I'm glad it did.
Yes.
Because as of now, it just seemed like, oh, cool, we can just gerrymander now, and there's no consequences for that.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Trump supported that, and then talked down on California for when they tried doing it. So it's actually nice to see it blow up in all of their faces. I mean, it could blow up in California's face too, but I mean, from what we can see is that California didn't want to do this until Texas did. So if it doesn't work out in California's favor, okay,
it's kind of like back to square one.
Back to square one, things are back to the way they were.
And that is why I've been saying all along, like, look, the game is not pretty, the game is not fun, but you have to play the game.
You have to play the game
because, and like, this is good that this happened, but again, like, by playing the game, you're right in the mix with it. Because like you said, okay, worst case scenario, California gets struck down. Hey, back to square one. Like, things are as they were before. No big deal.
Yeah,
right?
honestly.
Yeah.
It was honestly just a big thing that amounted to nothing.
Exactly.
Which.
Yeah. And it's just, it really is, it's good to see it happen because just the way that Texas did it too was like, totally undemocratic. They didn't ask their voters about it. They basically were going to be stealing votes. And it's nice to see that they were kind of.
Yeah, and the fact that the California one was voted on could change things in a sense. I mean, it could, I don't know. It could still also technically gerrymandering in a sense.
Yeah, it is very interesting for Texas. And again, I'm no expert in the law here. Oh, no. I'm sure there's a million different arguments you can make for it. But I really do think in terms of its legitimacy that really does add a lot to it. It was voted on. Mm-hmm. Like the people in that state said this is what we want. So I don't know. I don't know what the kind of judicial perspective on that is going to be if it comes to that point. We'll see.
Do you know if there's any consequences for this, or is it just like you just can't use it?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's like people are going to be like charged for it.
Oh, okay.
It's just like, like you can't use this, and they won't. I mean, look, people probably should be charged for it in some capacity because it's just ridiculous.
You'd hope.
And
but hey, well, we'll take this.
We'll take this.
We'll take this. This is still a win.
We will take it. Yeah. That's
the bulk of it.
The bulk of it. We went through a lot today. Funnily enough, that's not even everything I had on the agenda, but we did the important things.
Yeah. And there's a lot of mysteries this time. Come up with your own conclusions and maybe who is Bubba. What will Trump do with the Epstein files? That everything's been happening, but
it would be a really great soap opera if it wasn't real.
Oh my God, it would.
It'd be so good.
I'd watch it.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess probably we won't be back next week because of the holiday, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So in that case, we will be back in 2 weeks.
Back in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss y'all.
I'm gonna miss it too, man. But it's only 1 week.
Don't worry. Well, we're gonna be there. When we're gonna be reading the news next week when we're supposed to be filming and be like, bro, there's so much stuff we could have talked about.
Yeah.
Especially with being Thanksgiving, Trump's gonna say something stupid and he's gonna.
Yeah, he's probably upset that he can't spend another Thanksgiving with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, he's gonna let that slip somehow.
Feel bad for him. Well, no, that came out in the files that during his first presidency, allegedly, the emails were saying that he spent the Thanksgiving, I think, of 2017 with Jeff Epstein.
Oh my God.
So, but yeah, things happen, as he says, as our president says, things happen.
Things happen, and I know if you want to take Trump's word, be honest,
Yeah.
Be honest about what Trump's doing and how you feel about Trump.
Yeah, be very honest, be very open.
Be very honest. And it's a good thing, apparently, according to the Trump
yeah.
administration. It's a good thing to be very honest, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
And he won't get his feelings hurt. He famously takes it very well.
Yeah.
So.
He never gets emotional or overreacts to really anything.
No.
If I have to remember.
No, not at all. So yeah, like I said, I am sure that nothing of note will happen over the next week. So really, no need for us, anyways.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I have a lot of trust in the Trump administration, and I don't think much will even occur. If anything at all.
No.
If anything, this is the last episode of the Quad Pod. Is that
yeah,
but yeah, it's gonna suck not being here next week, but
yeah, to that end, enjoy your holiday, everybody. Enjoy. To the extent that you can, enjoy being with your family. I know. I know for some people that has different.
Yeah, that's different things. But
yeah, but look, and again, I'm not gonna go on too long about this, but I don't even like Thanksgiving food.
Neither do I, and I think we discussed that. So last year, if you're a real fan, you'll know what each of us will be having for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Cheese-It casserole.
Of course.
Yes.
What else? What would you like? That's always on the menu.
Always. Yeah.
But I hope you have your own Cheez-It casserole at home. Same with you.
Yeah, your own version of a Cheez-It casserole.
Yeah, more specifically a Cheez-It casserole. But yeah.
Okay, specific. Okay, I thought you were being metaphorical about it.
No,
but I guess not.
No, yeah, you can take it metaphorically.
I'm taking it metaphorically. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna have my version of a Cheez-It casserole.
Yeah.
And I hope you do too. We hope you do too.
Yeah. But
we'll see you.
Yeah, see you in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Have a good Thanksgiving, y'all.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.